Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Gundam Podcast, where we're here. We're going to talk about some old and some new UC products. Now, the really cool thing about this is that we're all a huge, big community. And so feel free to link up with us on Facebook, Discord, Spotify, Twitter, Anchor, and all sorts of different social media apps. Today we have Dustin, Brian, Walter, and Gabe, Mystery Man Gabe, to talk with us about some really cool P-Bandais that are coming out. So I say really cool, but really it's P-Bandai, so,
It's up to your interpretation.
Yeah,
Spend money at your own risk, people.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, how I really feel is I love P-Bandai. Oh my god, thank you Bandai so much. Please give us more.
Oh man, what was they wear all UC suits?
Yes.
Geez.
So the first thing we're going to be talking about this time around is the P-Bandai Hguc 1/144th scale Shin Matsunaga. So I know there's a ton of Shin Matsunaga fans out there.
Woo!
The Gelgoog J.
I am a fan of his.
The Gelgoog J. So this guy is actually a reissue that's coming out June 2021. It's retailing for a price of 1,600 yen, roughly, without tax. So about $16 for a high-grade suit. So not too bad. What do you guys think about this kit?
It's definitely a high-grade suit.
It's the White Wolf, none said.
Remind me, was the White Wolf
last time I was on here?
He wasn't in the anime, right? He's only like in OVAs and like manga and stuff, right?
It's pretty much that's absolutely correct. So Shin Matsunaga was a part of the MSV line, this mobile suit variation line, where they just try to crank out as many different kinds of variations and colors of suits. Canonically, he's actually really great friends with was it Dozel Zabi?
Johnny Ridden?
Yeah. Big Zeta, right?
And then through the years, he was upgraded from suit to suit. And so you'll see tons of different variations, like a high mobility Zaku, a Gelgoog Jaeger. There's tons of other stuff that he has been a part of. And actually, he's sort of kind of technically a part of the Gundam Evolve universe with that red Zeta, I think.
He had a red Zeta?
Yeah, so he was working with Og at the time.
Oh, okay. See, the only reason I remember him is from, I think it was a PS2 Gundam game where like it went through like all the side stories of all these different characters, like Johnny Lightning, White Wolf,
Encounters in Space. Encounters in
Space. Yes, thank you, Walter. Yes, I played that game a lot back in the day.
That was my jam back in the day too, man.
Yeah. You can make your own custom character and like give them skills.
Oh
and stuff.
Yeah, that was a great game. But yeah, I'm excited for this kid.
Yeah, he had a great storyline.
I misspoke. I'm really sorry about that. So he didn't have the red Zeta. He had the obviously the gray Zeta. But the Zeta is not actually gray. It actually kind of looks gold if you look on Gundam Wiki. And specifically, it's the Zeta Gundam 3B type. 3B as a boy. So sorry about that.
Not the 2B.
He has he has a very storied history with a bunch of different kits or different mobile suits.
Because like I remember him from that game. You have to escort Big Zam, if I remember right, and like you're just a little Zaku with your heat axe going up against Fetty suits, while Big Zam's just like destroying ships.
The new definition of hack and slash.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. But so Brian, what do you think about this?
Going through the pictures, I dig that rifle. 100%.
Oh yeah,
that rifle looks so sick.
Gelgoog always had cool weapons, you know.
Yeah. Besides that, it's giving off this really gallant, like royalty kind of look to it, and it's like I'm glad it's kind of white too, so you can kind of like personalize it easier. Since it's like all white.
He is the White Wolf.
Yeah. But you can make it a black wolf too. Or the red wolf or a blue wolf.
I just keep looking at the pictures. Yeah, I mean it's a Gelgoog. I mean,
yeah.
If you've seen one, you kind of seen them all, haven't you?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
A little tweaks here and there, but
Yeah.
a Gelgoog to Gelgoog.
I think all that really has changed is the color and then the unique symbol on the shoulder. He's got his special crest there. That's pretty much all that's majorly different about it.
And this model kit's not really new, is it? It was like reissued.
Yeah, it's a
times.
P-Bandai reissue. Yeah, it's a P-Bandai reissue.
Oh, we lost
So, I
Steve.
mean-
That's a blow.
Are we still recording?
Uh-oh. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're still recording, so we'll continue on even without Steven. So I mean, yep, I think that's him coming back.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, everybody.
Hey
Hey,
everyone.
bud, how's it going?
Hey, sorry about that. So yeah, it kind of froze and kind of died for a little bit. Technical difficulties on my end.
There he comes.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm here.
Oh,
Sorry, I
there-
don't look as crystal clear, but yeah, I'm back.
Is that a potato you're filming with? What's going on?
Yeah. This is
I think it's
my this is my camera from 2010.
I was about to say
All right.
an 11-year-old webcam on a laptop. Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's pretty old, but it does the job. So, where did you guys end up at?
Well, we were just discussing that, it's a Gelgoog. If you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Yeah. It's like if you
There's,
saw
like,
Charles
some
Gelgoog,
variants.
then it's pretty much the same thing.
So for me, I personally really like the color scheme. I think I'm just really disappointed that, well, it's actually got some beam sabers, which is kind of cool. You don't really see Gelgoogs have that kind of stuff, but
That's true.
I'm just really disappointed that the Gelgoog is just such an outdated model kit. I wish they had created, a revamp, something worthwhile that's a little bit different for people to kind of to purchase. The Gelgoog Canon, I know, came out in 2007, and I don't know. I think the Char's Gelgoog. When did that one come out? 2006.
I'm reading the comments right now, and they're saying that the source kit was from 2004.
It is.
So,
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now too. The Gelgoog J 2004 kit. You can actually look at the kit, and you look at the hands. The way that hand is angled is clearly the old mold, and I'm just a little disappointed. It still looks really nice. I really like.
Yeah.
Did he not have a shield?
Nope.
No,
He never
never
used
really
a shield.
scored.
Yeah, okay.
Nope.
He was
You don't
too
need
good of a
shield to
pilot.
dodge.
Exactly.
Exactly, right? It's just have to channel that inner Gohan, that inner Piccolo.
Dodge! Oh, he actually did it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, what's everyone's rating for this? So, we'll start off with two different ratings. What do you think of the suit initially? Right? What do you think about it? Or the model kit? Do you think it's a good model kit? Do you think it's worth a buy? And then a second rating. Do you think that you would personally buy this?
Okay.
So after everyone's got like 15 seconds to think about it, we're going to start with Walter. Go.
So the rating of the kit, I would probably give it like a 7.5 or an 8. If I would buy it, probably like a 5, because I don't buy many Xeon kits. And the only reason why I would buy it is because it's Shin, and I think, like Dustin and me were talking about, I'm kind of partial to that specific mission in Encounters in Space, as it was like, why am I in a Zaku happen to like basically guard the Big Zam when the Big Zam is the Big Zam? Why am I guarding it? It's a fortress. So I mean,
hey man, if you had that backup though, you probably could have been Armoro. maybe.
But I'm in a Zaku. I feel so like, what?
Hey,
Couldn't I get
Zaku type 2? You know?
Zaku type 2? Yes, but still, it's a Zaku.
And it's Shin. Don't forget that.
But I mean, again, it's a nice kit. I don't think I'll add it to my collection, but it's very worth it to anyone that would want to add it to their collection. So that's my final ratings.
Understandable.
Are you pass on to the next person, Walter?
Brian.
All right. So I do like I am a fan of the Gelgoog, and I don't have a Gelgoog. So personally, this would be like a pretty sleek buy, but I wouldn't go out of my way to get it. So in terms of looks alone, I'm gonna give it a 7. But if I would buy it, probably like a 5, 4, maybe 6 because of that gun. The gun, that gun.
It's
that gun.
tactical, right?
Yeah, cool.
That
Tactical.
gun's pretty
and
tactical.
Brian's gonna buy it.
All right, pass it on, Dustin.
Dustin's turn.
Me? Visually, if I'm going just off the photos we're looking at and not what it's going to look like just built out of the box, I would give it like a 6 or I'd give it a 6 or 6.5, right? Because I'm thinking like out of the box, it's probably not going to look as sleek as it does, with all the painted red parts are going to be missing, like the thrusters and stuff like that. But it looks cool. What was our other thing? If I would buy it, right?
Yeah.
You would buy it.
Yeah, that'd be like a 2. I don't buy mono eyes. Nothing against mono eyes. Just a lot of them don't really hit for me. I like Gundams because I like Gundams. But yeah, and it's a 1/44 scale. I don't really build 1/44 anymore. So yeah. So a 6.5 on looks and a like 2 on the buy scale. Gabe.
What about you, Gabe?
All right, so me, I'm not really like a big fan of Zeon suits. Like I like the occasional goo for the Zaku and to be honest, I am a big fan of Shin Matsunaga. Like I read a little bit about his character, and I do like his character and his depiction, plus his suits. I mean, there's just something about his white color scheme that just catches my eye. However, this Gelgoog is not really something I get. Like I give it, like Dustin, I give it like a 6.5 on the look scale. The Gelgoog does actually look pretty nice and white, and in Matsunaga's scheme. But would I buy it? Not really. I'm not really one for the Gelgoog's design. To be honest, it looks a little bit too bulky for me. And a little bit.
Whoa, wait, hold on.
Whoa, yeah, that caught an eye for me too. Hold on.
Wait. Yeah, why did you say that, Gabe? Wait, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Given my track record.
Yes.
Yes. Explain, brother of thickness. Okay. Explain.
All right, this might sound weird to you. All right, fellow listeners and fellow podcastians, I apologize if this sounds weird to you, but it looks too fishy to me. Like I know the Gelgoog is supposed to have kind of like a marine, marine motif to it.
Okay. I get where he's going with it. Okay.
Because it was originally supposed to be like one of the Zeon's underwater suits, right?
Yep.
But it was adapted for space. True. Yeah, it just looks a little bit too like beluga-ish for me, especially in Shin Matsunaga's color scheme.
Okay.
So, now that you say that, Gabe, I see it.
Yep.
So
I see what you're talking about.
So despite the Shin Matsunaga line and me being a fan of Shin Matsunaga, it's not really something I go out of my way to get. So for my would I buy it score, I'm gonna have to give it like I said, like a 2. Very low on the scale, to be honest. I know I'm known for being a little bit wishy-washy on here, but on this, I'm gonna have to say it's gonna be a hard sell for me.
So I'm actually going to kind of correct this a little bit. So the Gelgoog is not really supposed to be an underwater suit at all. Yeah, the only reason why you are probably associating with it is because there's something called the Gelgoog Marine, but it's not supposed to be like water. but it's supposed to be like Marine, like the the special tactical force for like special op.
I see.
Yeah, but
I
it
still
does
stand it looks like a beluga.
yeah, it does have like a fishy kind of look because of the fin on the back. So I mean, I'll give you that though.
Now, if Shin got himself an Ark guy, I'd probably consider.
Really? Or you can just buy a Nakai and then paint it in Shin Matsunaga colors.
Not too much work.
Or
Really, that's too much work.
It's
It's
not. It's
white.
not. It's not canonically accurate anyway, too.
Yeah.
I'll just
Well, I mean, that's
just
my
go the
shtick,
cute
but-
route and get a bear guy. I'll get a bear guy F and give it a Shin roundel or something.
See, like canonicalness is my shtick. It's not Gabe's shtick.
I know.
Okay.
What are your
Yeah.
thoughts, Steven?
My thoughts are that I like its level of thickness. I think it's a very well proportioned suit. If you're not looking at the head, if you don't look at the head, everything else is very well proportioned. I think it has kind of like that light thickness, but also like the skinniest that like the Suzabi has. If you look from the waist down, even the feet is actually designed somewhat similar to how the Suzabi looks. I really like Shin Matsunaga as well, kind of like what Gabe was saying. I looked up his character. I really like the fiction. And so rating wise, I would give it like a 7.5, kind of the same look scale as Walter. However, I would personally not buy it myself. And so I'd probably give it like the same rating as like you, Dustin, with like a 2. Like I probably would not buy this. If anything, I'd purchase the non P-Bandai version and I would literally just paint my own. Because it's just white and gray. I mean, you can paint that.
And well, and the crest on the arm, but you can always like print that out probably.
Yeah, if I really, really wanted to, I could buy that. But really, I don't really like the model kit because of Shin Matsunaga. I like the model kit because of the colors.
Yeah.
So if I can just paint my stuff gray and white, I'd be totally cool with it. I don't really need the white wolf symbol on there. A lot of people say that's blasphemous, like, oh god, you're not a true Shin Matsunaga fan, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. But anyway,
True
cool.
Shin.
Thanks so much, guys.
They don't exist.
All right, and we're gonna
We'll
move on to the next topic.
kit.
So let's go on, and we're gonna talk about today the P-Bandai Hguc 1/144th scale Rick Diaz,
The best name ever.
which is weird. It's weird because it's P-Bandai.
Yeah,
weird.
that's weird.
Because it's supposed to be a mass-produced version of the Rick Diaz. So this is a release date for June 2021, so it's coming out in 4 months, and it's retailed for 2,000 yen. Think about that for a little bit. 2,000 yen, $20, mass production suit, P-Bandai. What are your thoughts?
All right, I'm gonna make it easy. Can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, looks are a 2, buying it is a 0.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. That's
I'm
hard.
not
sorry.
a big fan.
I've
He set
never
the
liked
goal
the Rick
high.
Diaz. I like the Rick Dom. I don't like the Rick Diaz, and yeah, I would not waste my money on this.
So,
For anyone
I'll
who's
go next.
apparently so anyone who's interested, right? This is supposed to be based off of the newly articulated version of the Rick Diaz. So it's supposed to be a little bit better mold-wise. However, it's still not that great.
It still looks the same as it did.
Yeah. All right. Brian. What are your thoughts?
Well, generally speaking, Rick Diaz he's an OG, dude. He's been there since the beginning of Zeta, and it's that suit arguably is beloved. Arguably speaking, I'm not a big fan of the guy either, but I understand that this is an original suit. Like, he's been there for a while. But I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not gonna jump the gun on the score yet. I kind of want to keep looking at it before I pass
All right.
judgment on him.
No,
Well,
you pass
just
judgment now.
In general, Dustin kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
So
So I was like,
so I won't kill a man as good as Dustin kills a man, but I share the same opinion. I'm not a huge fan of it. So from a looks perspective, I'd have to give it like a 4, just in my opinion. And I think the only thing that it's saving grace for why I'm giving it 4 is because it is a thicker mobile suit. I like the more boxier, tank-looking mobile suits. For a buy perspective, I'm probably only gonna give it a 0. That's as high as I'm gonna go because I'm not gonna buy it. So 0.
As high as you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay. Gabe, did you want to chime in?
You know what? I only like it because of the name.
I had to catch myself there.
Okay.
It honestly, it sounds like something from like it sounds like a character from an Antonio Banderas movie.
Rick Diaz.
So yes. So I will have to share Walter and Dustin's sentiments. I can't go. I suppose I could go lower and give it a -1.
Oh my
in the buy
god.
scale.
Jeez.
Because it doesn't strike me as attractive aside from the name. It's like Mystery Date. Is it going to be a dream? It's like no, just based off the name alone. So buy scale 0. Looks, it does give off that 80s flair, but I'm gonna have to give it a 1. Like I said, I only like it for the name.
Okay. That's very fair. All right. Brian, do you want me to go or do you want to go?
I can finish up mine. You know what? This should have been the Federation's prototype suit, like the gem, and the Rick Diaz should have just honestly swapped places because this looks less advanced than a gem in all honesty.
This looks like a prototype, like Zaku.
Yeah, it just looks so outdated, in all honesty. So in terms of like looks, yeah, that's a 1 for me, and I'm definitely not buying it, so that's a 0 as well.
All right. I will be kind of the savior for this suit, I guess. Since this really went through the gauntlet this time around. But before then, Sunny actually took a look at the suit. So guest star Sunny, what would you rate this?
I like the weapons, so actually buying, I would rate 2 just for the weapons because the suit's design I do not like. I don't like the color scheme. I don't like bulky. I don't like the head at all.
Yeah, the mono eye with that cross in it, like the targeting system, it just looks weird.
So
I think design would be a 2.
2? Okay, so that's pretty
2
fair.
across.
So 2 across.
But the weapons are cool.
All right. Okay, so I'll put this out there. So the Rick Diaz is actually based off of the Gamma Gundam that's supposed to be a part of the whole Greek letter alphabet shtick. It is supposed to be have a lot of influences based off of like the Rick Dom, and so that's why it has this bulky kind of nature and things like that. And meant to be kind of like the mainstay mobile suit for like the AU during like Zeta times. Because of that, I actually do like the design, so I'll give it as high as a 4, but I will probably give it a 1. And I'll give it a 1 just because I like the weapons, and I like the fact that I actually kind of like the colors. But what I really don't like is that this is P-Bandai. Like, this absolutely should not have been P-Bandai. This should have been a regular release. It's an iconic mobile suit from an iconic time, from an iconic show. It really should be a regular standard release. I don't understand why it's not.
Yeah.
But so your 1 rating was whether you'd buy it?
Yeah, my 1 rating is whether I'd buy it. I think objectively, like, is it a cool suit? I'd give it a 3. So.
Wow, poor guy.
Yeah, it's a really bad release.
So-
Like, I think what's even worse is the price.
Yeah.
The price is $20 for this thing.
$20. Like the the White Wolf Gelgoog was only $16, and that was like just cooler looking in my opinion.
It is. Yeah, it actually has better articulation than this guy too.
Yeah.
Because this guy has the peg joint for its wrist, not the ball joint. So all you can do is swivel.
Oh, just this? Can't even do this?
No, you can't. So what you're seeing in the first picture is the most articulate that this suit can be. And that's just incredibly sad. Really, the best that this suit looks is when it's standing and when you're looking at the back of the suit. Like, that's the worst part.
It definitely needs a revised version of it for it to have a...
You know, if I had a mobile suit as ugly as you, I'd shave its butt and teach it to walk backwards.
It's
sorry guys, I'll be here all night. Try to feel.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. All right, cool. So I think with that, we have our ratings all done for the for this Rick Diaz, and we're gonna move on to our next topic. And our next topic is the P-Bandai Hguc 1/144th scale Gelgoog Vertex. Now,
another Gelgoog.
Another Gelgoog, and Sunny is already not liking it. She has that frowny little face that she gets when she does not see things that she likes. So, for a lot of people who don't know what this is, it's basically a Gelgoog that's in Johnny Ridden's manga that has a Wrigaloo back or Wrigaloo shoulders attached to it to make it have giant thrusters. So, if you like the Wrigaloo design, if you like the Gelgoog design, if you like Johnny Ridden, then maybe this is a suit for you. But I'm just going to let you know, this is not the suit for me. Because this has the same type of release date and the same type of controversial price point that the Rick Diaz has. This is coming out in June 2021 with a price of 2,700 yen. So it's $7 more expensive.
That's steep.
You're already going to know this. Say it right now, 3-1. It looks kind of cool, but it's not enough for me to buy. What do you guys think?
We should have honestly used this one as the standard first, because I honestly like the other one. Shin's better than this. In all honesty, I do not like how this one's at all.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that's got going for this kit is its weapons, and except the weapons it's got the Gatling gun, a rocket launcher, and 2 different beam rifles.
Yeah, that's it. That's really it.
So I'll start off with the scoring of this. Cool wise, 4. Again, it's another thick mobile suit, so I at least have to give it some praise for being thick. But if I'm gonna buy it, it's probably gonna be like a 1 for me. Not really interested, but there's a possibility that I could if I really was that desperate.
Here, let's put this out there. If you scroll down, Walter, to the very, very last photo that's talking about the accessories, what's really kind of cool is actually the beam Naginata. And it's
Thank you. I was going to say that, Steven.
Yeah, it's the blue beams. The blue beams look really cool, but everything else about it is just terrible.
Yeah.
What'd you give it, Gabe? You were laughing over there. I want to hear your opinion now.
If I couldn't go any lower, I'm gonna blue bomb myself. So I'm gonna give my buy skill for this a -2.
We're gonna get so many dislikes on this one. And Steven thought the dislike on the Death Scythe was bad. This is gonna be bad.
You remember Michael? He's just gonna be like, "How dare they talk bad about Mono Eyes?" Just like all the videos.
Yeah, he's gonna rip us all a new one.
All right, let me go into my reasoning. So it's like, well, because just like Shin Matsunaga's Gelgoog, it's like, the Gelgoog itself, doesn't really appeal to me. But then the binders on the back make it look like something from like Go Nagai, like it's trying hard to be like a messenger.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I didn't really
It
think
kind of does, yeah.
It's trying too hard to be like Messenger Z or something. So So yeah, would I buy it? -2. Looks factor, I'll give it a 1.
Okay.
Because I'll give it a 1 because of the Naginata.
That's fair. So, out of curiosity, does everybody know what the Regulu or the red gel goo? Does everybody know what that is? Okay, so
Kind of.
Like you're gonna have to, like
I don't
I
keep
mean,
up
I've
with
seen Red
Xeon mobile
Gelgoog,
suits,
but-
so no.
no, it's
No,
so
talking
it's
about
regular
stars,
red.
right?
The regular is different
it's
than the
just a
Gelgoog.
Gelgoog with giant shoulders.
Yes,
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
all it is.
oh,
That's all it is. It's just a
Oh.
Gelgoog with. So his weapon pack would be his shoulder, or his backpack would just be his shoulders instead of the regular
Yep.
Gelgoog shoulder. That's all it is.
That's all it
I
is.
have seen this before. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm posting a link to this just in case you have not actually seen it. But it's something from Double Zeta, and it's just supposed to be the evolved form of the Gelgoog. However, they got the evolved form of the Gelgoog shoulders and just strapped onto the back to make it additional boosters.
Prototype.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. So that's all this is supposed
Oh.
to be. And I wish they just
Oh.
what's that Regelu. I don't know.
Gelgoog.
Red
Gelgoog.
Red
It sounds
Gelgoog.
like we're just doing baby talk.
Gelgoog.
Red Gelgoog. Who's a little Red Gelgoog?
The Gelgoog Gaga.
For Gelgoog.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So was that everybody? Did everybody give their
No,
rating?
I don't think
No.
Brian or Dustin gave theirs.
All right. What do you guys think? Dustin, bro.
Brian, go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate this thing.
Viewers, please be kind. Remember, please be kind to us.
I can't unsee that it looks like it has red shorts on, and the black leg looks like it's supposed to have black legs, but it's wearing red shorts, and it's just ill. That's really gross.
It's gonna go play basketball.
He's got bloomers
I
on.
know. But yeah, oh gosh, I really prefer Shin's over this one, so I'm gonna give this one in terms of looks, it's a 2, 1, even 1.5, and I would not buy this. This is a 0 buy. Hell no.
Aren't you guys glad that we decided to do these podcasts, or we just put
Yeah.
a product together?
Let's all talk trash
Please
about the
be
next
kind.
The hate train is coming.
All right.
Oh man.
Can
I'm
I
ready
go?
for it.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
ahead.
So whereas we gave the White Wolf a 6.5, that was also the Gen 2 body of the Gelgoog, right? This is the first
Yeah.
generation Gelgoog body, right?
This is
Which is ugly. I mean, we've all said it at this point. It's basic. It's the angles are weird, and I don't think it'd be as bad if it was just the regular Gelgoog gray and green color scheme.
Mhm.
This black and red color scheme they went with, even though I know it's Johnny's color scheme, but it just doesn't look great. You know,
It looks gross. It's so
Yeah.
gross.
the parts that are the colors they went with this are weird. Why wouldn't they make the entire torso red instead of making the upper part black and the lower part red? That just looks weird. But anyways,
Now, if you compare it to Char's Gelgoog, which is better looking.
but Char's is all red. It's just different
Yeah, Char's
shades
is
of
all
red
red.
that are just
Put together.
that looks better because it's Char's also. Looks wise, I gotta agree with you guys all. A 1, maybe yeah. Would I buy it? No, a 0 for me, obviously. But I would suggest it for people who kit bash. I mean, just for the weapons and the blue effect, the blue beam saber parts, maybe. But $27, like Steven said, it's a really steep price for a 144 scale kit that just comes with extra weapons. Oh, and a backpack.
I
So
wouldn't even buy it.
I will
So-
say though that kind of like the Rick Diaz, the way that this suit should be posed is looking at its back. 'Cause if
Yeah.
you look at the back pose,
I mean,
You don't see your face.
but I mean, I can
Right.
see the silhouette in the back is a lot better looking than the silhouette in the front.
Yeah. So if you look at the pose from basically like looking up the skirt, I know this sounds really bad, but so please don't demonetize us, YouTube. But if
Well,
you're
you
looking up the skirt, it
Yeah,
actually looks
Demonetize it.
really good because you see all
The
the
thrusters.
thrusters
yeah, I
and it
agree.
looks really cool. But then you look at it from the front and you're just like, ugh,
Yeah,
really? And I really want to give credit where credit is due. I think it would be really cool to see if you can use that adapter that is attaching, because I'm pretty sure they didn't re-engineer the shoulder that's being used as the booster. So I have a feeling they probably created an adapter so that you can maybe put other shoulders on. So for people who like IBO and want to do like some fusion rebate UC stuff, then probably see something.
I was thinking that those boosters can go on the shoulders, and you can just make the Ray Gelgoog like that.
there is
They might
there
as
is
well
a
have.
there is a 144 scale Ray Gelgoog Johnny Ridden colors
Yep.
with those
Yeah.
big shoulders.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's making me also think that Bandai was just like, yo, we need to sell more stuff, but we don't want to make new things.
yeah.
What if we just throw things together? Can we sell things that way?
let's just kit bash our kits and sell it for money. Yeah, good
Yeah.
idea.
And just make it
Hey,
P-Bandai
man.
that people are like, ooh, limited.
Or all the Johnny fans will buy this one.
Yeah,
Exactly, right? So they're not
Yeah.
like
True.
making Char look really bad, but they're using another name to kind of like slip stuff through. I could see that.
Yeah.
you know what's
That's
funny is
definitely.
so Johnny's Red Gelgoog, it's a more crimson red, where this is just like a hot rod red almost.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well, I gotta look this up now because
Yeah.
Johnny Ridden's Gelgoog.
The red looks darker in the pictures I'm looking at than.
Oh
than
yeah, I see it. I see
Okay.
this. It looks nice, honestly.
All right, I think we should have sound on this kit that we've all given 0 buys on.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
all right,
It's
so-
not biased, so
I guess we're all good. We're all good. So I want to take this opportunity to give a shout out to our sponsor for this video, Gunzo. So if you need any types of Japanese novelty products, you need some God hands, you need some Gundam model kits to itch that little something that you can't really scratch. You can go to Gunzo for all of your Japanese novelty and Gunpla needs. They have a great, fantastic staff. Their products are really well priced, and they're located in classic, old town San Diego. So you have the nice little quaint atmosphere. You can walk around. You can grab something to eat. You can go and park, and you can try to find parking down there. But if you don't want to find parking down there, we have their website description, or we have their hyperlink to their website down in the description below. So please check them out. Thank you so much. And all right. So moving on, we're going to go and take a look at our fourth product down here. Still in the UC timeline, by the way. But it's the real grade 1/144th scale Crossbone Gundam X1 clear color. So this thing is crazy because canonically, this shouldn't really exist. Because there's no Mirage Colloid, there's no invisibility thing. It's not like a Full Metal Panic thing kind of going on here. But it still looks cool as hell. Now, here's the thing about this kit, though. It's coming out actually pretty much this month and should already be released February 5th, 2021. And also, guess what? It's the same price as Johnny Ridden's Gelgoog VERTEX.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
It clearly, no pun intended, doesn't. So, what do you guys think about this real grade Crossbone Gundam X1 clear color version?
well, with it being a
yeah.
Gundam-based limited thing, this is quite normal. It's not too far off from its original RG price, if I remember correctly. So
Yep, that's correct.
Already, it's not going too crazy, but for me, I don't like clear parts or clear parts kits, base kits.
Agreed.
I mean, for the builders that like showing the inner mechanical detail that Bandai puts on a lot of their inner frames, it's great. But the real grades really don't have that great of a detailed frame to begin with. So you're just getting a lot of open, clear plastic showing that, what is it? I can't remember what it's called. The runner for the frame, but it doesn't have any real detail to it.
The advanced MS joint.
Yeah, that whatever the hell it is.
So here's I'm not sure if you've built the crossbone, real grade, but they actually don't really have that anymore.
Okay.
So it's basically a mini master grade. Most real grades nowadays, from like Unicorn or Tall Geese on, doesn't really have that that advanced MS joint system anymore. It's a lot of ABS on ABS, so kind of similar to like how you see the real grade New Gundam being constructed, just part on part on part instead of full frame.
Okay, they dropped that frame a while ago, right?
It's been a while since I've built an RG kit, so But if that's the case, then maybe there's more detail to be seen. I'm looking at the pictures, and it's hard to tell, at least for some of them. But it does look really good, so I'd give it a 7.5 to an 8. The only way for most people to get the Gundam-based limited kits are to either be here in Japan or to get them through a proxy. So for me, purchasability would probably be like a 4 in realistic sense if I were to buy it.
Doesn't Bluefin sell Gundam-based stuff now?
So yeah, I think they are selling some of the Gundam-based limited stuff.
Okay.
So that would be the American the people that would be able to get it, but that would be one of two ways to get it, either through a proxy or either through Bluefin. But yeah, 7 and 4 for me.
What about you guys, Dustin?
I mean, like Walter said, I'm not a big fan of the clear mechanics kits, especially this one, because it's not actually clear. It's more of an opaque color. It's not like, see-through. But from what I've heard of this kit itself, though, like the Crossbone RG, I've heard nothing but great things about it. Like, I know Pierre built one, and he's like the real grade guy, in my opinion, because he buys every real grade. And he said Crossbone was probably one of his favorite real grades he ever built. I like look at the pictures, like they got him in cool poses, and like he's very dynamic looking, and especially like that pose of him with his foot up, like Captain Morgan on the action base.
Oh yeah,
that's a really cool pose. I think it would look cooler if his cape was also translucent and not a solid color.
Mm-hmm.
Just
like a translucent gray or something like that.
Yeah, like the way his chest armor is. It's like that translucent black. Feels like a translucent, like grayish brown. Sorry. That would look cool. I think the cloak kind of ruins it a little bit. But like I know he comes with a lot of accessories, a lot of beam effect parts. So like looks wise, I'll give him like a 7. Like he looks cool. Even for the transparent parts. For the buy-in scale, maybe a 3. I would buy it. I would prefer to buy the regular release, and then the mechanics version, or clear version, whatever they call this now. But yeah,
that's clear color.
Yeah, that's me.
All right, Brian, you look like you're still thinking.
Yeah, you can go, Gabe, if you're ready.
Okay. Gabe,
Personally, I'm not really one for clear kits. There's just something about it's not really a gimmick of the Gundam model kits that I'm particularly fond of. So as far as the buying score for this one, I'd have maybe like a 1.
Okay.
Actually, no, make that a 0 because I have no desire for this game. But I can see how it can appeal to other people, and plus, it's kind of cool that Crossbone is getting a little bit more of a presence now. So initial like the score for like overall cool factor and looks and everything, I'd have to give it like a 5 because it is the Crossbone, but it is in clear color, and that's just me.
Okay.
All right.
What about you, Brian?
I'm not a big fan of the clear color either, but this is actually like one of the better looking clear color ones. Like, I wouldn't even say, if I had to describe its look too, I wouldn't even say it looks like a clear color. It looks more like, remember the 00 Shanzam kits? How they're like lightish, like red?
Mhm.
Like, I see this as like Crossbone going like a special like state, and it's like, oh yeah, like it's like I
Like,
don't know
like
if there's
an
like an
after, almost
huh?
like an after image, Brian.
Yeah, kind of like what the
The
was
F91.
it F91?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see that.
it kind of looks like it's like doing that if you like look at it at some angles and especially some poses. I
I
like
mean, they
I don't
are
know.
from the
I really
same
dig this one.
lineage, right? This is actually the
Yeah, I think
F7.
so. I don't know. I really dig this one. In terms of looks, I'd give this an 8 actually. If I would buy it, I mean, like I said, I'm not a really big fan of the clear color, but I'm more in like the middle. I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 5.
All right. So Sunny has been also eyeing this kit because I said clear color. So when I asked her what she thought about it, the first words that came out of her mouth were beautiful.
I like it very, very much.
So if you were to give it a rating, what would you give it, Sunny?
9.
You give it a 9? Okay.
I and the other people didn't like it, so
So you gave it a 9 for looks, and would you buy it?
8.
You would give it an 8. Okay, that's pretty up there.
But you
It
would
looks like I need to go to Tokyo.
But I would have to help you build it. Obviously, I would help you build it. So for me personally, I'm also a huge RG person. I love the real grade line, and actually, Sunny did buy me the Crossbone Gundam a couple years back, and so I really love that kit. And so I also really like the clear and the way it looks with the whole Captain Morgan stance. I think that's super cool and super awesome. But since I already have the kit, I don't really have a desire to buy this one. I don't like, there's no canonical reason for me to get another one. I think it's a fairly well priced kit for all the gimmicks that you get. I think that the beam effect parts, because they're super large and giant and you get a bunch of them, look really good with the clear suit already. And I do wish that this cloth was actually in a more transparent, like if they just gave us like a clear color cloth that wasn't gray or anything, I think that looked super cool. But they didn't, and that kind of sucks. Because man, I would probably just buy this if it was a clear color cloth. Because what sucks is when you put the cloth on, you can't see any of the stuff underneath.
Exactly.
Clear color cloth, you can put down your regular crossbone, and then you can see the details underneath the crossbone.
be beautiful.
Yeah, that would look
Yeah.
super cool.
I think we brought that up
But-
in the past as well.
Yeah, and I'm really kind of sad that they didn't. I think the price is really fair. I'd probably give it on the cool factor, should you buy it kind of scale. For me personally though, it's a 0. It's a flat out 0 because I already have the kit. Why would I buy a second one that's more expensive arguably?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it is. That's how it goes down. So all right, we're going to move on, and we're going to take a look at the second kit. I think everyone's kind of gotten a chance to take a look at the article, but we're going to look at the P-Bandai, so not the Gundam Base exclusive, but the P-Bandai 1/100 scale Crossbone Gundam X1 Patchwork version Kotoki. So This guy is coming out May 2021, so you have a couple more months in order to pick it up, and it should
My
be
birthday month. Oh,
Yeah,
you know.
happy birthday, happy early birthday. Here's your gift from Bandai. It's retailing for 4,900 yen, so roughly $50, but it's a master grade Sunny.
Oh.
Yeah, so apparently Sunny just loves all the popular kits. So I say Crossbone, she looks at Crossbone. So so she's already invaded my computer. So while she does that, what does everybody else think about this model kit?
It's a better color scheme.
You think this is a better color scheme?
I like this less.
You like this less. So actually, Sunny, do you want to go first? What do you think about this suit?
I like the other one better. I love the cloth because it also reminds me of wings a little bit, and I love wings.
Okay.
I don't like this shade of blue, and I personally really, really love clear kits. So after seeing the clear one, this appeals to me less. But I love the crossbone design. I like his weapons. I like the big X. I would give it a 7 on the look, but probably 0 on would I buy it.
That's fair. All right. So, gentlemen, have at it.
I'm gonna try real hard to
Not
be
it.
friends with my little sister right now.
You want me to go, Gabe? Or are you gonna go?
Nah. So for me, what's it called? I'll admit I do like this color scheme. Than the original X1. Maybe second only to the X2 version, which I don't know why I like that dark color scheme, but this is definitely a lot better, in my opinion, a better color scheme than the original X1. But other than that, I mean, like the crossbone design is actually pretty cool, and then this is a patchwork, so I'm assuming there's just like little bits and extra pieces that make it differ from the regular X1.
So yeah, it's primarily
Now,
just the
for-
shoulder
Yeah, hence the patchwork.
and the
Now,
shield.
coolness factor. I'll give it a I'll have to give it a 6. Admittedly, I don't really know too much about Crossbone aside from playing it in Extreme Versus and whatnot. Would I buy it, however? I'd probably say 2, because I'd probably consider getting it if it was on like maybe like a reduction sale or something. Not really something I go out of my way to get it like straight off the bat, but maybe after a little bit of time has passed.
Okay.
Uh,
What about you, Dustin? Or
Yeah, Dustin.
Oh, are you finished?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I actually really like the look of this crossbone. I actually like the shade of blue. I like the mismatched shoulders. I do wish his beam effect parts were like a little more like the real grade, like you know how like they're a little more wild looking on the real grade. These are like just like straight looking beams, kind of. I like the hook because it reminds me of H2 Darkhound, which is based off Crossbone. And like I like that his cape is like that cloth fabric, so it's more posable with the suit than like just static like the real grade. So like for looks, for me, I'm probably gonna give this an 8. I just like the way it looks. It's like it's got that sleek design. I like sleeker looking suits. For a buy, it's a P-Bandai, right?
No.
yes.
Or is this, it's just it's a
Is it?
P-Bandai Verka. Okay. For $50, I mean that's pretty normal, if not on the lower end for P-Bandais, right?
It's actually kind of cheaper.
Yeah. So for me, honestly, this is a 10 for a buy. I'm definitely gonna buy this because I don't own any crossbone kits. So this would be, I would love to have this kit in my collection on.
All right, nice. So, who we have next? Brian, you have a quizzical look on your face. What are you thinking?
Sony, I actually don't like this compared to the other one. I actually prefer the clear color over this. All honesty.
Okay.
I don't know, that blue. That blue is kind of like off for me for some reason. I like the darker blue on the original better. I think it
Same
fits the darker color fits Crossbone in general better, in my opinion. Like the blue is
Okay.
just kind of like a little bit like cheerful, and it's like I don't see that in Crossbone. But you think is that cloth really? Because that look, I don't know if that cloth that Dustin likes the cloth. I don't like the cloth. It kind of looks really in the pictures we're seeing. It looks like it's. I don't know.
I think it
looks
has like
it's
a
like somebody took like some fabric and just like put it around it. Like the fabric itself is part of the kit kind of thing. Like
well, I
it
think
looks
like
that.
I think it has like a waxiness underneath it. Maybe is what you're seeing, like a shine from the undercoat. Maybe
Maybe,
because like
but just like
is it because it's too like uniform looking? It's not like beat up like the real grade one was. Like it doesn't have holes in it and stuff.
I think it's because it's more uniform. It's clean.
Okay. Yeah,
Too clean.
It's too clean. Okay, I can understand that, but you can always just cut it. I mean, you have scissors.
Yeah, make it a little more ragged.
Yeah,
but like not shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shiny
Just-
like
just-
kind of
just
interferes with me.
Go outside and throw some mud on it, Brian, and then crumple it up, and then it's dirty looking.
Paint it
Just tear it up
brown.
with some scissors.
and
Yeah.
then like crumple it in my hands, and then just like
Oh,
there you go.
yeah.
Put out
That's
a
true
hoodie,
model kit.
put it over. Yeah. But I'm gonna have to rate this lower than the other one. Actually, I'm gonna give this one a 6. And buyability, a 3.
All right,
Yeah.
Walter, what are your thoughts?
So I think this will go into what we talked about last week when we were talking about Crossbone. They are really picking up the pace and trying to put Crossbone out there more. So from a visual standpoint, the patchwork is a good looking kit in my mind. It's got what the patchwork should look like. So I would give it an 8. I like it, but I'm not going to buy it. So that would give me what? Maybe like a 1 for buyability, because I don't think I've bought any. I maybe have bought like 1 or 2 Crossbone kits, so it wouldn't make sense for me to buy this kit. But I do like it.
Right. Okay, that's pretty fair. So, a couple of things about the patchwork for people who don't know what the patchwork is. So, in Crossbone and in Steel 7, essentially what happens, and we're going to put spoiler warnings here because I don't know how many people has actually read Crossbone, but the story of this suit goes is that Tobias, or Tobiah, he used the X3 Gundam. So the X3 Crossbone is the one that has this really light color blue. So people who don't like the light color blue or really like the light color blue, the X3 is the one that you have to avoid or get. So when the X3 was destroyed, Kincaid, basically Hguc, who was piloting the X1 Kai, then gave that Crossbone to Tobiah. And Tobiah then becomes like the main character because then Kincaid and Sicily then retire and kind of go to Earth. But during, the fight with the Jupiter Empire, the X1 Kai gets severely damaged. And what people don't really know is that the X1, 2, and 3 are not distinctive suits. They're actually the exact same suit. And so when they go and repair the Kai, they actually have parts and scraps from like the X3 that they just throw onto the Kai. And so that's why you have this mismatched kind of suit and why they call it the patchwork. What I'm really interested in is because of the way that they developed this model kit and the mismatched colors, is a very high chance that you're going to get extra runners just due to duplications. So if you wanted to, there's a very, very high chance that you could just have same symmetrical shoulders, or maybe you would even get an extra chest plate so that you can get rid of that blue color if you just wanted to get something that had the darker kind of color scheme. I think what's really cool is the hook, because the hook is the only thing you would possibly get different from this set compared to any of the other crossbones that you might receive. That and the mismatch of the chests. So I think the crossbone skull look, or the emblem, is only on the head for the X1, but then the X3 has it on the chest. So if you want to get that look with this kit, you would need to really buy the X3 and the X1 at the same time. So this is kind of just killing two birds with one stone. So, but for me, I think I would give it a rating of an 8 because it's super cool, but a 0 for buyability. So the biggest thing for me is the scale. I collect everything 1/144th scale, and this would just throw off everything because I have nothing in crossbone that's in 1/100 scale. It just wouldn't make sense for me to just kind of have like everything being small, and then giant. Well, kind of, because it's a crossbone, so it's gonna be 15 meter tall, super tiny kind of thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a small little mascot, anyways.
Right. Yeah. So it's probably gonna be like the same size as maybe like the unicorn or something like that. But anyway, so with that, we'll move on to our next article, and we're gonna go chronologically, I guess. So we're gonna jump into the Victory Gundam timeline, which is just a couple of years after. So if people don't really know, it goes F91 crossbone. So you have the F91 Gundam, and then you have the crossbone that's the F97. And then you get all this kind of weird stuff that happens with the Zanskare Empire, and you have the Victory Gundam timeline. And the Victory Gundam is a combination of the technology from the SNRI that developed the F91 and Anaheim Electronics. So you have this weird mishmash of technologies. One of the identifying factors is if you look at the crossbone, you can see its hardpoint on its side skirt being this kind of looking like a little dipper kind of look. The Victory Gundam actually has that same type of hardpoint. So you know that's very close time-wise to one another. The kit that we're going to look at, though, is the P-Bandai Hguc 1/144th scale second Victory Gundam with an initial release date of 2019, but it's being re-released for July 2021, so my birthday month, and going to be a price point of 2,200 yen. So arguably makes kind of sense. It's a little bit cheaper than the crossbone, a real grade, but it's not super cheap because it's got actually a lot of really cool stuff. So keep in mind that because the crossbone is a smaller suit, and this is coming from that same type of timeline, the Victory 2, or the second Victory, is also going to be a smaller suit as well. So what do you all think? Because personally, I'm just going to throw it out there. I give this guy an 8. It looks super cool. I really like the weapons. It's super small. I mean, if you don't want to have the weapons, you can take it all off. You can have it just a regular Victory Gundam. But yeah, what do you all think? All right, don't jump all at once.
Let's see. Well, the Victory Gundam, it's a really like good improvement over like the base Victory Gundam, because the base Victory is just so plain, and then once it gets like the V2, then like it's like, oh, then it starts looking like a little bit good. But then looking at this version of the Victory, I'm like, this actually looks pretty attractive. And that was never really one for like the Victory either. I guess it's because it keeps like the slim profile, sort of the base V, but at the same time adding like the dash pack and all the heavy armaments of its later iteration. So coolness factor, I'd probably have to give it a. Oh, actually, looking at the potential box art picture of it, it actually kind of looks like something from Virtual On.
Yeah.
If you look at it.
Yeah.
It does kind of look like a Tenjin from Virtual On. So coolness factor and interest factor, I'd probably have to give it a 7. Would I buy it? I'd probably have to say maybe, and in that case, I'd probably give it like a 5. So that's me. Walter, what about you?
So again, I don't have much pull to the Victory Gundam timeline. The kits have never really, or the look has never really caught my attention. Looking at these pictures though, and after Gabe saying virtual on, I definitely see it. So I like the look. It's very interesting. I like that shield. That shield is something else. I have to give it, from a style and look standpoint, an 8. It just has a very unique and different kind of look. Buyability though, this is probably gonna be another one of the past ones for me, because I think I only have like one Victory kit, and that was a VERTEX when I was collecting VERTEX. So it would probably be like a 1 for me if I were to buy it.
Wait, sorry. You said that you had issues because of version Kadokawa.
No. I said the only Victory I have is the VERTEX of this.
Yeah.
So that's really the only Victory Gundam I have. So this, I mean, it would not be a buy for me in any point right now. So a 1, just to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin.
All right.
Hi, Dustin here. For looks, I gotta agree with most everybody else. It's Victory Gundam has always been a cool looking suit in my opinion. It's weird. The thing that I think is the coolest thing about Victory Gundam is his legs, if that makes any sense. I like that how his legs like look like all one piece, because there's like really not a lot of gapping in between his like ankle skirts and stuff. So it's very like his legs always look very streamlined to me. And I always thought, and he has like a nice V fin and a nice head mold and stuff too. So I'm probably the same scale as the rest of you. Give like an 8 on looks. It just looks cool. You get a lot of accessories. But it is a 144th, and like you guys know, I don't really buy 144ths that often, if ever. But I mean, he, for the price, $22, and he's a P-Bandai, and the amount of stuff you get, I'm kind of on the fence like Gabe was about it. Like I kind of do want to get it, but at the same time, I'm just like, where am I going to put it with the rest of my Gunpla? Because I collect mostly 100 scales. So I'm like, it just looks cool. Like his backpack is cool. I like his 2 big V thrusters he has in the back. Those are cool looking. Very posable. Like all the action poses in this photo set are very dynamic. I don't know. I kind of want this. Not gonna lie. So I'm maybe like a 5 or a 6 on the buy scale.
That's pretty high, all things considered. Brian, what about you?
Man, so out of all the things we were looking at recently, this is actually like my favorite of the night. Because I agree with Gabe. The Victory is like very plain, and then V2 is just like all the add-ons, right? But like this like little middle ground transition period is like the best of both worlds. Like I totally dig its like armory too.
It's tactical.
And then Walter too. Yeah, I agree. That shield is like sick. Oh, it looks so good. Oh.
Dude, so here's a little bit of a tidbit for people who don't know. So there's a reason why this one's called the second Victory.
Instead of V2.
Because there's actually a V2 or a Victory 2 Gundam. So in the anime, Uso goes from the Victory to the Victory 2. But there's a novelization of Victory Gundam where instead Uso goes from the Victory Gundam to this guy. So it's kind of like the same sort of like Wing Zero Custom, or New Gundam, High New Gundam kind of deal. So they could put a little bit more effort, I guess, into like the mechanical design. Didn't have to animate this guy, which I'm totally for, because this thing looks super cool and it's 1/144th scale. So I'm just like, insta buy,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, the more I look at it, the more I just see little details that like catch my eye.
Yeah, it's a beautiful kit. Like the shield looks good.
My one, I don't want to say complaint, my one worry is on his arms, the red circles. If those are stickers or if those are parts or if they're paint.
Those are
It's
clearly stickers.
It
Yeah,
looks like paint
it's
on the
probably gonna
pictures.
be paint. Yeah, it's paint.
Yeah.
Because
But,
it is a high grade. It's not gonna have much part separation.
I mean,
Oh, it's too slick.
I honestly think I'll probably do a little bit more research on this guy because it's beautiful, and I don't have a Victory Gundam, so
it fits.
it fits.
You don't have it. It's 144 scale. It's cool looking. I guess we know what Steven's gonna get.
Yeah.
Brian, what would you give this as your viability?
All right. So for looks, I'm gonna give this a 9. This, like I said, this is my favorite of the night. It looks so good. Viability, I'm like at 6.57.
The best number of the night by far, hands down.
No, yeah, I think this is the one that we kind of all agreed on for the most part.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's great.
That we all agreed on in a positive light. That we can say that.
True.
That's very, very good. Hey everybody, we're gonna do a little TLDR. So we're gonna take a look at some of the numbers that we have for a lot of the suits that we're looking at for the UC podcast. So for the Gelgoog, the Shin Matsunaga's version, we have 7.576, and I actually forgot to record the two numbers for Gabe and myself, but I assume that they're actually pretty high, roughly 6 and 7. For viability, we have 5, 5, 2, and I think there were zeros for the two of us. So they've kind of evened out. So we roughly have like the same kind of mentality for everything. The next bit was the Rick Diaz. This one I did record, and it was pretty abysmal. We have the numbers 2, 4, 1, 1, 2, and 3. We included Sunny's count in this one, but it's basically it doesn't look that good.
No.
For the viability, we have 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, and 1. So resounding, don't buy this kit.
Was that binary code you recited?
Pretty much, except for the 2.
Yeah.
The Sunny gave it the highest rating for viability for the Rick Diaz. So the next thing that we have is the Gelgoog VERTEX that basically has binary. This one for looks has a 3, 4, 2, 1, and 1. So it doesn't look that great.
No.
But for viability, we have 1, 1, 1, 0, and 0. So don't buy this guy.
No.
Then we have the X1 clear color. This one has better numbers with looks at 7, 7, an 8, 5, and a 9 from Sunny. I didn't put my I don't think I put my numbers in here because resounding is a pretty high. It looks good. It looks good.
Good looking suit. It's a good looking suit.
Yeah.
For
a clear color.
Yep, for a clear color. So for viability, we have 4, 3, 5, 0, and 8. Obviously, that 8 is coming from Sunny, but in general, you can get by with buying it. It's a pretty okay buy. So for the patchwork, I actually don't have my my numbers for this one either.
It was the only master grade in our lineup.
Yes, the only master grade in our lineup. This one has a looks of 7, 6, 7, 6, and an 8. So it looks pretty damn good. But for viability, this is where we vary. So Dustin with a 10, the first 10 of that night, but a 0, 2, a 3, and a 1 following up. So averaging out, it actually kind of works out to be kind of like a 6-ish, sort of. So buy it if you want. It looks kind of cool, but it's really based off of your own personal preference. Mm-hmm. Now, this was the absolute highlight of the night, the HGUC second victory. Mm-hmm. We have looks going at 7, 8, 8, 8 and a 9, a resounding positive
Victory.
rating.
Can we say a
For the
resounding victory for it? A
Yeah.
resounding
Hey.
victory?
Resounding victory. Okay, so here's where things kind of get shaky. So for buyability, we have a 5, an 8, a 1 from Walter, a 5 to 6 from Dustin, and a 6.57 from Brian. So
Honestly, that could have been a 7. That could have been a 7 or an 8. 8. Give me an 8.
Oh, now he's gonna change it.
I loved it that much. It was really good. I would
okay,
go out of 8.
but
change that to
because
an
of Walter's outlier, I don't think that we can really consider it a resounding victory because,
Damn it.
well, we have that 1. So it really does kind of balance out with maybe
Sorry.
about a 6 rating. So
Thanks, Walter.
So I don't think we've found anything that we can clearly agree on just yet, but we can agree that the Rick Diaz is not a good buy.
Nah, pass it up.
Yeah, that
Absolutely not.
one's bad. And the Gelgoog Vertex, we thought that was terrible.
Yeah, that was bad too.
That was really, really bad.
P-Bandai too. P-Bandai. Oof.
Yeah, that was the worst. It's P-Bandai as well. All right, cool. I think that wraps it up for our look at all the UC stuff. So thank you again to everyone who's been able to view this. Thank you so much to our production staff, Walter, who handles all the recording software and logistics. Thank you to Megumi, our manager and our editor. Thank you to our guests tonight. Thank you to Dustin, Brian, and Mystery Man Gabe for tuning in. And operations and things were directed by yours truly. So thank you again for tuning in. Please take care of yourself and each other. And we'll see everybody in the next video. Bye-bye now.
What about everybody?